Hello, my name is Dr. Andrew Tickle and I'm the module leader for M04AEE, Robotics, Kinematics, Dynamics and Applications. I guess the first thing you have to understand with a robotics module is it is a complete mixture of every other aspect of electrical engineering. In the module we'll be covering basic motor configurations, motor drivers, we'll be covering sensors, sensor systems, how to use sensors on a robotic system, the applications of it. We'll actually be talking about some of the kinematics and mechanics of it. So everything from if I pick something up, how does all the stresses on my arm vary, and then to the actual kinematics and dynamics, which actually say how the robot moves through free space, which is all about something called homogeneous matrices, and that's something which I find particularly interesting. So basically, it's a complete hodgepodge of every other part of the MSc in Electrical Engineering and Electronics and the embedded MSc in Microelectronics and Wireless Systems. So you will find a lot of paths with other modules. So, for example, the programming aspect could be covered by M07CD for microprocessors or M01AEE for VHDL. So you could either have one of those as the brain behind the system. You could have your crossover with the sensors module, M02AEE, I believe it's called, which is done by Dr. Yang. So you'll be doing a lot of crossover with that. You'll have M03AEE, which is for motors and drives module, which is done by Dr. Zhenyu Lin. So there will be a lot of crossover with other modules. As a result of that, I'm only going to touch briefly on certain areas because I don't want to step on the other lecturers' modules too much. So like I said, that's the way how the module works. How does this module actually help you as the student? I would imagine that this would actually be able to help you get a job in an area, because in addition to adding a bit more relevance to certain areas, so one module might do everything purely theoretically, this will give you an actual end application to something. And with the assessment strategy as well, that will help reinforce this content. And because, like I said, because it's basically a combination of every other topic known to man, it means that you won't go out into industry with a very wide knowledge base that you can then apply to many different areas. Because like I say, I myself am a roboticist by trade, and since then I managed to branch out into various things such as image processing, sensors, and various other aspects. How is this module assessed? It's a 30% coursework, 70% examination module. So there is an emphasis on being able to know the theory, but don't worry, there are lots of tutorials that I will go through with you personally, and all the solutions will be on Moodle, so that you can actually learn the methodologies, not the answers, the methodologies. That's the key word here. The other aspect is a design/simulation-based coursework where you could be asked to design a circuit for how to control the motors on a robot. You could be asked to do homogeneous matrices calculations to calculate how a robotic arm would move through free space. Or you could be asked to program in one of the robot operating system languages or the vowel language in order to actually make the robot move itself. I'm not going to cross over too much to actually go into C programming and how to program the micros, because that will cross over with M07 and M01. So I'm not going to go too much into that. I'm going to leave that to the respective module leaders. What I will say for the people who are doing the MSc in Electrical Engineering and Electronics is that if you want to take M07CDE, that has a nice complement to this module, because that actually gives you the microprocessor-based skills that you need. For those of you on the embedded microelectronics and wireless sensing, you'll be taking this module as an option, and you'll already be taking M07. So that is what I feel is a nice pairing between the two modules. So I'd like to finish by just saying I hope you enjoy the module. I hope that you find it interesting and fascinating, and if you have any trouble whatsoever, feel free to give myself an email or a telephone call to my office, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. Thank you very much.